What's up, everybody? It's Saturday morning. Alright, so on my last video I did pick up my SL65 again out in Virginia. Drove it back yesterday. I took a one-way rental car out to Virginia yesterday, picked up the vehicle and drove it back to Florida. So here is the car sitting there desperately needing brakes, wheels, and an audio system upgrade. So today we're going to take a look at the audio system upgrade, and I've got all my tools laid out here on the bench, things I may need. One or two things I'm really worried about is running the GPS antenna, running the microphone, and also a constant 12-volt power source. I have no clue where I'm going to get that. I'm hoping I can take the factory radio off and just use my voltage tester and find constant 12 volts on the back of the radio, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So I may have to get the fuse box. I'm not sure. Radio is right here. It's my Joying Android head unit. Got all the accessories here. I've got the Scosche dash install kit. I've got the antenna adapter. I've got the Mercedes Most fiber optic adapter. The Mercedes system is fiber optic from the head unit to the amplifier. You can either replace the amplifier with an aftermarket amp, which I'm going to do later, or this system plugs into the fiber optics right there. Right there. And the other end has RCA cables, and you connect this to yellow to constant battery power. That's my one problem here that I'm worried about, is finding constant 12 volt on the car. So I don't know if it's behind the radio. The cigarette lighter is accessory power on, which that was another thing I was worried about finding, but apparently I can get it there because I tested that yesterday. So I will update you as I start taking off the dash panels. The first thing you're going to want to do is get yourself some of these dash kit tools. These are essential for not breaking the clips. See how they have claws on the end? You're going to need these for anything you do here in the any vehicle for doing audio work. So in the SL series car, that's pretty much all the cars. The procedure is going to be the same thing. First, you want to put the seats all the way back and all the way down. So as far back and as down as they will go. It'll make it easier to get the side panels off. I thought I had the seat as far back as it would go, but apparently it will go back further. No, it won't. Okay. And it's down all the way. Okay. So once the seats are back and down, you want to open these cup holders up and take off the front covers. Those are the covers right there. So I couldn't figure out how to get those off. I just pulled hard enough and finally they did come off. Then push the cup holders back in. Next step coming now. Next, take your plastic tool, pop it in there and pull these side panels off. This is why you need this. You don't want to mark up your $200,000 interior. Pop both sides of these off. So while you're doing this, some things to remember. Have a good place to lay out your car factory pieces so you don't mess them up. These are very, very expensive pieces. If you break these little trim pieces, you don't want to know what it's going to cost you to buy replacement ones. If you like paying the Mercedes tax, though, be my guest. So online it says that you're going to need a T25. I was missing mine, so I used the next smallest. But if you look under here, there's 3 screws supposedly, but they're not these big ones, but right next to them. I already took this one out. There's one in the center right there, and there's supposed to be a third one, but some idiot didn't put mine back, I think, right there. So you want to take those screws out. It might be helpful if you have a small screwdriver like that. I love those things. And I happened to have some Torx bits in my toolbox, which I was surprised. Lift up your center console. Take your, do not try to use anything but the real plastic dash removal kits. Pop that up there. should pop right out. Okay, so also turn your key on, put your stick all the way to the back. Pry this up. It'll pull off easier if you pull towards you like this. So get it all the way out just like that. Now you should be able to pull up on your center console and turn it like this. There's enough wire for you to turn it, and then once that's done, you can move on to the next step. Take the 2 torque screws out of the side of the cup holder and slide it out. Do not do what I do and let one of the screws fall in there. Now I've got to find it. I wish I would have got this on video. I was having a tough time trying to figure out how to get this command unit out. The best way I can tell you is online it says that there's 2 tabs to push down on the plastic at the bottom. I just pulled up kind of hard at an angle and pulled, and it popped right out. Then you want to disconnect the wiring in the back here. There's going to be a fiber cable and then a I'll show you when I can get back there. So if you're like me and you're expecting a wiring bundle back there, you are going to be disappointed. The only thing connecting to that radio is that harness with fiber optic and a few little pins. Now I don't understand how this is going to connect to my adapter, so I have to figure that out right now. Okay, so I just figured out that there's a little retaining clip on the side of the back. You pull it, it's like on the very edge of the connector. You pull it, and while you pull it, you can pull this most connector right out. And then this box, this most box came with this little adapter. I'm not sure what that is yet. We're about to try to figure it out. But here's the most box. So you got that. Let's see if I can get some light in here. You've got this. So if this will not connect directly in there. So they gave you this little adapter. I'm going to show you that in a moment when I get it on. So the adapter goes in, and then the fiber optic cable goes right into it. Now the challenge is finding a 12 volt constant on power source. I'm going to start probing this, whatever the hell this thing is, and I'm sure there's no power in here. Who knows? We're about to find out. So you always want to have a good voltmeter available, and what you want to do on your voltmeter, of course we're working with 12 volts DC, so you want to find a DC setting on it, and then you can check for hot or accessory power. I'll show you once I've got everything set up, and we will put this on the pins in there. Okay, so I found my switched power source. On the cigarette lighter, brown is ground, green is switched on. But now I don't know where to find constant power on. I have to deal with that right now. Okay, I don't know if I'm just really lucky or an idiot, but red yellow here on the back of the radio apparently has 12 volt power. So I'm going to use that for my constant. So I am not going to be soldering today. I am going to be using these connectors that I got off of Wish. These tap connectors. You should be able to just clamp over an existing wire, and then you can put another wire into that. I'll show you that in a minute. So the way these work is you slide the existing wire through the side of this connector right here on this side, and then you put the new wire into the other hole, then you push down on this clamp, and that is like a tap. That's how you get your existing working without cutting the wire. So I have the battery always on source crimped to a wire. I have accessory and illumination crimped to a different one, and now I'm going to do ground. So I've got the tap adapter on the wire already on the ground. I'm going to go ahead and attach the wiring harness now. Okay, I just tested all my wires. Everything seems to be working properly. Now the big surprise here is that I thought on the back of the radio there was an antenna adapter. And guess what? There is no antenna adapter. I don't listen to the radio, so screw it. So I turned the key on and the radio did power on. Everything appears to be working. Now I have to plug in the most adapter and see if that actually works. So this is awesome. I got my dash complete. I got the, So this is awesome. I got everything installed, and of course, one channel of this converter box does not work. I've double checked 100 times. Only the left side is working. So this is great. I have to reassemble my dash, wait for another one of these to come in, unassemble my dash again, and then figure out what to do. Amazing. So I couldn't for the life of me get any of the stupid tabs in here to attach. So I saw these screw holes on the sides and I'm like, Then I remembered I have this handy geek flexible drill bit, which is amazing. I didn't think I would ever use this, but dude, it's so good for getting inside here and bending. That was awesome. Now I gotta try to adjust the side tabs so that the radio fits in properly. See ya. The home button is doing ridiculous things. You press it once, it goes to every single audio source. It will not go home. It goes to then the storage, then the radio, then home.